Tractor pulled down. They had the other one this past weekend, didn't they?
Did they?
When was it? When was that, Wednesday?
I don't know.
It should have been this past weekend. My birthday, your anniversary was Monday.
Yeah. Probably was.
Oh well.
Yep.
Missed them all.
Missed them all.
Alright, so what you was just listening to was me and my uncle having a conversation about all the tractor pulls that I missed this summer because of my vacation to the beach. I actually normally go to at least one tractor pull a year, and one in Danville and one in Winston is the ones that I like to go to. But I left for vacation on the night that the Danville one was on, and then I got back from vacation on the night that Winston was on, so I didn't get to go to either one of them. So as you can see here, I am up under some grandstands. Now these grandstands just happen to be the Blue Ridge Tower at Martinsville Speedway. And what we're doing is we are working for a paving contractor, trying to dig some old pavement out. You can notice how bad the pavement is there to the right of my boom that I hadn't dug out yet. It's really rough and it has some trip hazards, and I guess they just wanted to get it smoothed out and looking nicer, and maybe reduce some of the ridges and broken parts. And so we've got our little John Deere 35C in here, and we're digging the old asphalt out everywhere that it looks rough. You can see it looks a little rough behind the wagon there. But anyway, as you might have noticed, it's kind of tight in here. See, my boom is almost touching the grandstands. I'm having to be very, very, very careful about getting the boom into the grandstands. I'm having to back up and turn and swing around poles and all kinds of maneuvering with this little excavator. So this was an interesting job that I thought y'all might enjoy watching a few minutes of. It is in a place that a lot of people may be familiar with. So yeah, enjoy this. Another thing you may notice in this video is that we are using my firewood wagon. Well, it actually doesn't belong to me, it belongs to my dad, but I've been using it to haul firewood for years because he doesn't use the wagon very often. This is one of the few places we have used it. We've used it in other few tight places, but typically we can get dump trucks that are larger to most areas that we're working. But there's always the occasional tight place kind of like this that we'll bring it and use it. So that's why it's here. Now if you don't know what I'm talking about as far as firewood wagon, and of course you can't see it right now, maybe I'll turn and dump some more on it here in a minute. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up my firewood slayer videos and you will see this wagon hauling firewood behind the old green truck, or the hydro truck I call it sometimes because it has hydraulics. There is the trailer I'm talking about. You can see the lettering on the side of it from where I sell firewood on it, lettering and phone number. But you can also see that rear tire on it there right under my head is slick as an onion peel from me pulling it on the road so much. But anyway, I thought I would slide that in there, that this trailer sure did work very, very good in this situation. We are pulling it with the TC55, which was a great match for it. I would just load the thing up, just all the asphalt I could get on it, and the tractor and the trailer, neither one had any trouble. Which I believe that trailer is actually rated to haul 16,000 pounds. You wouldn't think it, but it is an 8-ton rated trailer. So it's pretty, it's pretty hefty. It's hard to get that much weight. I've never seen anything. You might could put that much gold or lead in it and get that much weight on it, but it doesn't hold a lot of volume, so you couldn't really overload the thing anyway unless you had something that was really high weight to volume ratio. But yeah, see, they're having to help me a lot here underneath that really low part, because I can't even hardly get up under there. It's very, very difficult to get under there without hitting the boom. So I'm having to kind of get in between the beams just so I can raise the boom up. So this was a pretty tricky little job, but it went really well. They went in there and they sawed all that pavement. Our guys went in there and sawed it. They sawed all day the day before this, I believe, and they sawed most of the morning this day. That guy to the left, he works for us, and he's a very good worker. And the guy on the right in the red shirt, that's my Uncle Benton. He works for us. The other two guys, they work for a company called Steve Martin's Trenching, and they're out of Bassett. And him and my dad do a lot of work together. As a matter of fact, everything they do, they do it together. As far as work goes, they're kind of partners, but they're kind of my dad's kind of a subcontractor under him. But they kind of look at it more as a partnership. But they don't purchase equipment together or anything like that. We just work together. So we're always with these other guys. He has about 6 employees. We have about 6 employees, and it works pretty good, because if we get short on work, we can kind of break up into 2 separate companies and go out and work on our own, or when we get on these bigger, larger jobs, we can pull together and have 12 or 13 people working on one job if we need that many people. So that works pretty good.
Remember how you better be sure and get a shot of him sitting out there waiting on the race to start.
Yeah, there's the Steve Bowman waiting on the race to start.
Yeah, and the drivers didn't show up.
Drivers didn't show up today.
But now that was the same seat he sit in 4th of July.
Yeah.
He
Was
sit
it?
down, yeah, he's sitting here, he goes, this is the same place I sit 4th of July here.
You do that on purpose?
Well, we just had him walk out right there.
Walked out the same hole, and he said,
Okay.
this is the same seat I sit 4th of July. This is right here again.
So if you're not sure what those two guys were talking about, they had went out onto the grandstands to eat their lunch, and then the guy that in the gray shirt, he realized that he was sitting in the same spot that he was when he had come down to watch the 4th of July show at the Martinsville Speedway. They always put on a big concert and lots of fireworks for 4th of July at the Martinsville Speedway. I've been several times. It's really nice. But this is on the other side, on the other side of the poles, and now I've got the trailer behind me, and I'm going to speed you up here a little bit. But I had this what do you call it, a concession stand here for cold beer right in the way, and I was having to fold up my boom every time to get around this thing, and it gets even worse the closer I get to it. But I never did hit it, and I had to keep watching for these marker signs. You can see one to the left of the tractor with the J on it. I had to keep watching for those things sticking out in my canopy, because I was getting awful close to those, but I never did hit one that I know of. So next thing you're getting ready to see here when I get this trailer loaded is you're going to go for a ride on the little TC55. We're going to go out and dump some asphalt on the outside where they're going to load it back up and haul it off. So what's happening here is we're dumping this asphalt on the outside onto the parking lot, because obviously we can't really take it anywhere to get dispose of it with its tractor. So we're just carrying it out, and then we're reloading it with that skid steer onto a tandem dump truck, and then we're hauling it to the waste area not far away. And then we actually end up using it to put on top of the waste area where we've been pushing some dirt over, to turn the waste area into a lot that we're using to store equipment and a few other things, and doing some grinding and stuff. Grinding trees is what I'm referring to. But yeah, now we're going to make our trip, make our way back into underneath the grandstands here. And I'm probably going to speed you back up for that so it don't take all day. Alright, we're back under the grandstands, and we'll reload the wagon and repeat several different times. I think this took us, well, I know we were there most of one day and then part of another day. I think we got done by about 2 o'clock on the second day. So we basically went the whole length of, well, not quite the whole length of the front stretch of the track, but it was quite a ways that we went underneath the grandstands digging out this pavement. But as far as I know, I didn't hit anything and didn't tear up anything, so it all went good. It's all been paved back now, and so everything's good under there. We've actually got another job that's really close to here that we're working on also. So it's about to get to Martinsville for me, it's about an hour drive, but probably 90% of the work we do is in the Martinsville area. So I'm down this way a whole lot, but that's all right. It's not a bad place to work. It gets a little hot in the summertime, but it's not as bad in the wintertime as it is where I live, up at 3,000 feet. It's a little bit cooler in the wintertime for me at where I live. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and y'all be safe, and we'll see you in the next one.